Welcome back to Byte-Sized Tech. Ready for another deep dive into the latest tech trends?
Always. What are we looking at today?
Well, we've got two TLDR newsletters from November 28th, 2024.
Okay.
Both a regular one and the AI-focused one.
Sounds like things are going to get interesting.
Oh, they are.
Definitely.
Things are getting spicy in the world of AI.
You know, one thing that really jumps out is the level of competition heating up. It's like a tech version of like a heavyweight title fight.
Oh, absolutely. Like Elon Musk is jumping back into the ring.
Yeah.
With his new Venture X AI.
Oh, yeah.
You remember he was a co-founder of OpenAI.
Right. The ChatGPT people.
Exactly. And now he's back, and he's looking to take them on head-to-head.
Well, he's not holding back, that's for sure. I mean, from what I've heard, he's managed to recruit some of the top minds in AI, like pulling talent from everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got that massive funding, was it $11 billion?
$11 billion.
That makes xAI the second most valuable AI startup after OpenAI.
Yeah, it's getting serious. And here's where it gets even more interesting. xAI is going to launch its own standalone consumer app, kind of like ChatGPT.
Oh, wow.
I can't even imagine what they're cooking up over there.
This is like throwing gasoline on a already like raging AI fire. We're seeing so much development right now, and everyone's trying to get in on the action.
Yeah.
But with all this, rapid development, it makes you wonder, what about regulation?
That's a great point, and it's already happening. The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, they're launching an investigation into Microsoft.
Oh, really?
For potential antitrust violations. They're worried about Microsoft bundling products.
Makes sense.
Especially in cloud computing and AI. Seems like AI is getting powerful enough that people are starting to worry.
Yeah, and this isn't an isolated thing either. Earlier this year, the European Union, they came down on Microsoft for bundling Teams with their Office tools, saying it was anti-competitive.
Right.
Feels like a global trend, right? Increased scrutiny on these big tech companies, especially when it comes to AI.
Yeah. So is this the beginning of a new era of AI regulation? What do you think?
It's definitely a possibility. As AI gets more, woven into our lives, governments are going to want to make sure things are fair and that nobody's misusing this powerful tech.
Okay, enough of the doom and gloom about regulations. Let's talk about something a bit more fun, like robots in factories.
Okay.
And get this, diamonds playing a role in data storage.
Wow, now that's some shiny new tech.
I know, right?
We're seeing this humanoid robot, Figure 02, totally changing things up at a BMW plant. Apparently they've seen like a 400% efficiency boost.
That's wild.
Just imagine if robots were that capable and that common everywhere, right?
Okay, that's pretty cool. But diamonds for data storage. I'm going to need you to explain this one.
Okay, so think of it this way. Chinese researchers have found a way to use diamonds to store massive amounts of data. And we're talking like preserving this data for millions of years, like a time capsule for information.
Millions of years. Really? Okay, now I'm interested. Tell me more.
They've achieved incredible storage density, like 1.85 terabytes per cubic centimeter. It's like squeezing the whole Library of Congress into a sugar cube.
That's mind-blowing. What would we even use that kind of storage for?
I don't know. Think about it. Preserving historical archives, safeguarding scientific research, maybe even storing personal memories for generations to come. Possibilities are kind of endless.
That's incredible. But let's pivot for a second, something a little closer to home. Podcasts. And get this, podcasts made by AI.
What?
Are we about to be replaced by robots?
But, hey, I'm not ready to give up my microphone just yet.
I hear ya. But seriously, 11 Labs developed this AI called Gen FM, and it can create multi-speaker podcasts from uploaded content.
Wow.
And it even adds in all those little human touches, like ums and pauses, so it sounds natural.
That's really interesting. It's like having a whole podcasting team on your computer. Makes you wonder, will this lead to like more diverse and accessible content, or are people going to start worrying about authenticity and creativity?
That's a great question. And it's something to think about as this technology develops. But before we get too lost in the future of AI podcasting, got to address something that's been on my mind. The bigger is better trend in AI.
Yeah.
Is it possible this trend is hitting a wall?
You're talking about that TLDR article, right? The one that discussed how just making AI models bigger and bigger might not be the key to breakthroughs anymore.
Exactly. So if bigger isn't always better, what's the next big leap? What comes after just scaling things up?
That's the million-dollar question. It feels like researchers are starting to think we need to explore new approaches, new architectures, if we want to keep pushing AI forward.
This is where things get really fascinating.
So instead of just, brute forcing it with size name, researchers are looking into new ways to make AI models learn and reason more, efficiently.
So it's not just about brawn, but brains, too.
Yeah, you got it. It's about teaching AI to think smarter, not just harder.
Let's get specific. OpenAI's O1 series of reasoning models. These seem to be making some serious waves.
Yeah, those models are designed to handle really complex questions and tasks, like teaching AI to approach problems more strategically and logically.
And OpenAI's not messing around. They even filed a trademark application for the O1 model.
Oh, wow.
They're clearly seeing this as a potential game changer.
Yeah, it really highlights how competitive AI development is right now. Companies are putting so much into research, and they really want to secure their spot in this, rapidly changing field.
Speaking of competition, remember that AI heavyweight title fight we were talking about? Elon Musk and xAI are definitely going after OpenAI.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not shying away from poaching some top talent to get there.
It's true. Musk has somehow managed to attract some of the leading engineers and researchers, even pulling people from Google's DeepMind and get this OpenAI itself.
Oh, wow.
The irony.
It's a real battle for the brightest minds in AI, and with billions in funding, xAI is ready to make a big impact. I'm excited to see what comes out of this rivalry.
It's like we're watching a clash of the titans, and we're the ones, in the front row seats.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's step back from, the high-stakes AI development for a minute and talk about something a bit more down to earth. Cloud storage.
Cloud storage. That's a little boring compared to, robots and AI face-offs.
Not so fast. We all use cloud storage, but it can get expensive, especially if you're moving around a lot of data.
Okay, I see what you mean. So what's the alternative?
Cloudflare's R2 storage service. It's designed to be more cost-effective compared to, the big guys like Amazon's S3.
Okay. And what makes R2 so special?
Well, first of all, it uses the same API as S3, so that means developers can switch over without rewriting their code, saves time and headaches.
That's pretty convenient. So is R2 a good fit for everyone then?
Well, one article suggested that R2 is better for over 90% of projects.
Wow.
That's pretty convincing. Cloud storage is like the backbone of so much of our tech, and it's exciting to see companies like Cloudflare making it more, affordable and accessible.
Totally. Okay, quick detour. Bioengineering.
Okay.
I know it seems like a jump from AI and cloud storage, but just stick with me.
I'm listening. Tell me about this bioengineering adventure.
This company called Cradle Bio. They're doing really fascinating work with proteins. They figured out how to optimize protein shapes. This could be revolutionary for developing new drugs and therapies.
You're right. That's a big deal. Proteins are like the building blocks of life, so changing them at a molecular level opens up so many possibilities.
And it looks like Cradle Bio is ready to turn those possibilities into reality. They just got a huge Series B funding round, so they've got even more resources now to push their research forward.
This is a perfect example of how breakthroughs in one area, like AI, can impact other fields like biotech. It's all connected.
It is.
Speaking of connections, let's talk about a platform that's all about connecting people. Bluesky.
Bluesky. That's the decentralized social media platform, right?
Yeah.
Like a Twitter alternative, but more focused on user control and privacy.
Exactly. And it's been getting more popular lately, especially since they introduced that reply feature. Feels like a, breath of fresh air in social media, where users often feel like their data is being exploited.
It does sound promising, but there's been some debate about how decentralized Bluesky really is.
Yeah.
Some people are concerned about who controls the underlying tech and how the data is managed.
That's a good point. It's tough to build truly decentralized platforms. You need to make it user-friendly while making sure that, the power is distributed and not in the hands of just a few.
Yeah, it's a conversation that's going to keep going as Bluesky grows.
Yeah.
It's definitely a discussion worth having as we think about, the future of social media and the internet.
For sure.
Welcome back to Byte-Sized Tech. We've covered so much ground already: AI, data storage, robots. But we've still got a few more stops on this tech train before we reach the end of the line.
Let's talk about a company that's really pushing the limits of automation with AI, Rabbit R1.
Okay.
They just released this new teach mode feature, and it's pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
It basically lets users train their AI to automate tasks on any website.
So it's like your own personal AI assistant to take care of all those boring online tasks.
Exactly. Imagine automating things like, filling out those endless forms, booking appointments, or even just shopping online.
I mean, yeah, sign me up. That sounds super useful.
Yeah.
But what about the ethical side of things? Could this type of automation lead to job losses or even misuse?
Those are good questions for sure. As AI gets more advanced, we need to think about how it's going to affect society. It's a powerful tool, and we need to make sure it's being used responsibly.
For sure. Okay, let's change gears again. What would a tech deep dive be without talking about gaming?
Right.
The rumor mill's been buzzing about the Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah.
Any news on that front?
There have been some pretty interesting leaks lately suggesting the Switch 2 could be announced as early as January next year,
Oh, wow.
with a public release maybe as soon as March.
Gamers get ready. I can already picture the hype online.
For sure.
The gaming world's always changing, so it's going to be
Right.
exciting to see what Nintendo comes up with for this new console.
And speaking of gaming and AI, there's been some fascinating stuff happening with large language models playing chess.
Oh, really?
Apparently, GPT 3.5 Turbo Instruct, one of OpenAI's models, is showing some serious chess skills compared to other LLMs.
Wait, hold on. Are you telling me AI is getting good at strategy games now? That's impressive, but also kind of scary.
It's a big development for sure. It doesn't necessarily mean AI is becoming sentient or anything, but it does show how fast it's learning and adapting.
I feel like there's a new AI breakthrough every day. Exciting and overwhelming at the same time.
It's a rapidly changing field, so staying informed and having these conversations about the good and the bad of AI is more important than ever.
Absolutely. Well said. And on that note, it's time to wrap up this whirlwind tour of the tech world. We talked about everything from AI showdowns to diamond data storage, robots on factory floors, and AI making podcasts.
It's been quite the episode.
That's right. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive with us. And as always, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more bite-sized tech.